They're a notoriously secretive subculture, sleeping by day, spray painting by night.
55 southbound, right at the protocol for police for several people calling, saying that there was some people tagging the railroad overpass here on 55.
You try and ask someone who is not a native of Ireland to kind of describe what Irish culture is, and within their first couple of mouthfuls of words, they're not going to be able to describe culture in Ireland without talking about the arts. But the arts in Ireland, in kind of Irish society, are the least represented and looked after sector. And if you look at street art over the last maybe 20 years, it is one of the biggest art movements that's taken place right across the planet. There's concrete jungles and kind of just spaces and concrete walls and urban architecture that is just lying flat, and there's very little intrigue in it. And you know, kind of adding pieces of beauty and pieces of that may question your, or even pieces that are ugly and stark, those are of addition visually to kind of any city or any urban community.
Here I think it's more of an art form. Like it's more than just the tagging, it's murals, it's portraits, it's bright colors instead of just like gang stuff.
Social commentary, both on what goes on, the crazy thoughts in my own head, all the way up to whatever everyone else is doing.
When I did the piece for Yes Equality, it was two lads that were in an embrace, and that was incredibly political. I wanted to create drawings and images that would question communities as to why these images should be put up in their spaces and in these very public spaces.
They don't put it there for no reason, you know. It's definitely a big statement, big bold statement on a building wall, you know. I think it's great.
The images that I put up are only temporary. They're meant to be there for a certain length of time, and they're meant to say something of that point. Really quiet but really loud at the same time. So it was a lot of kind of, it was political, it wasn't political. It was a lot of kind of contradictions. People are so used to being shouted at by advertisers and, you know, this is how you think, this is what you should do. That there was nothing on this, and it was kind of, you make your own mind from it. The drawings that I do are very, very detailed. Where they come from is real, sometimes dark and not beautiful.
It's inescapable. People are going to see it,
Right.
you know, and it's the only way you can express yourself.
Honestly, art can be anything you want it to be, and that's the beauty of it, you know. If you want it to be political, it can be. Every action any of us do is political, and some technically, you know, but it all depends. And the wonderful thing is, even with art, is it all depends on what way people take it in.
I'm not a political person. I have no idea of anything in politics, but it brings it to like normal people like me, so I suppose it's a good thing.
Every day the government are telling us to be creative and to be innovative, and that is exactly what art is. But then they tell us to do this and then they don't support us. They automatically feel that they have the right to tell you what you can and can't put on the wall. If I wanted to put up something that was 6 foot tall, I have to get planning permission for it. And then that takes 3 months. Then if there's an objection, that could throw it out another 2 months. So whatever conversation I have, it's too old after 5 months. It's not relevant. As a clause of that, everything becomes grey, and everything becomes dumbed down, and everything becomes politically correct. It's easy to portray all street artists as vandals. If you break down the law and you look at it, it's only their interpretation of the law that says that it is illegal. Can you look at, walk by it and a beautiful piece and you not even see it? That happens every day of the week. When you're walking the streets of Dublin, you're down like this, you're on the phone, your head is down, you're looking at people. There's very little opportunity that you look up. Very, very little opportunity.
I think it's really grown, it's budding, it's everywhere. Any street you go down these days is a bit of street art. A lot of rebels out there, so yeah.
Graffiti art and street art have an audience no matter what, and a very broad audience, which is why they're used as a channel for political statements and talking about social issues, and I think that's going to stay the same moving forward, and it always has been that way and always will be.
But yeah, all art is good art, you know.